And you're not alone. There's so many people who do that, and they think it's just like, okay, this is just what I have to do now.
Welcome back to another episode of Midlow Connect. I'm your host, Audra Fowler with Rose Gold Realty Team. Today, I have a special guest co-host with me.
I'm Melissa Fowler with Rose Gold.
Today, we're here with Genesis PT and Wellness. With several locations in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, they've planted their seed right here in Midlothian, Texas, and take a holistic approach on healing. We're so excited to show you all the benefits they have to offer.
Let's get to know Morgan.
I'm Dr. Morgan Jenkins. I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist here at Genesis PT and Wellness. Genesis PT and Wellness was opened in 2019 by Dr. Becky Allen. She started at the Dallas location, but has now expanded to Dallas, Fort Worth, Midlothian, Addison, Grapevine, Aledo, and Frisco. So we are all over the Metroplex trying to just spread all of our knowledge to all of basically anyone with a pelvis in all of DFW. Becky started Genesis in 2019. She was a young mom with 2 kids, had been an outpatient physical therapist for a while, and just wanted to have a different transition where she could really treat especially moms in that period, especially after, and I can relate to this, of just being in the thick of it with motherhood and learning how to transition of taking care of kids while also making sure to take care of yourself. Because so many times you're put on the back burner, and that can go on for decades. So we even see moms who are in their 40s, maybe even 50s, and they let issues go on for years and years, and they think they don't have any hope besides having major surgeries or just living with pain or urinary incontinence or stuff like that. So we really try and focus on treating everyone from a very holistic mindset to make sure that we're hitting every single issue that's arising. So that way you don't have to go to one person for your shoulder, one person for your hip, one person for your pelvic issues. We can encompass all of that together. And so I started being a physical therapist in 2019, right out of school. I came back to my hometown of Midlothian and originally started doing outpatient ortho. I was an athlete as a teenager, so I just loved working with all different types of injuries, working with all different types of joints. But I noticed that, especially after having my first child, that there's such a lack of care for anyone who's gone through major surgeries like that, whether it's C-sections, pregnancy, hysterectomies, even male surgeries like having their prostates removed or having issues with any type of bowel and bladder issue. I remember being a teenager and watching my mom and all of her friends laughing in the kitchen so hard that they would pee themselves. And I said I would never be that person. And sorry for outing my mom and all of her friends, but I was adamant that, like, I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to be old and peeing myself. Well, sure enough, after having 2 kids, I was like, oh my gosh, these problems are coming up, and I need to be able to find the answers to solve these problems, not just for myself, but for everyone else in this area, because it's such a lacking service. So as a pelvic floor physical therapist, not only do I focus on the pelvis, but I also have an orthopedic background. So we treat everything from the ground up. So if you have things going on where it's urinary incontinence or constipation, pelvic pain, trying to just return to workouts after pregnancy, postpartum, or transitioning to menopause, where there's so many things that we can do to help make sure that that's a smooth transition for you. So we do offer dry needling to help with pain management and also being able to really hit those very tense spots in the muscle bellies across your body. We offer cupping to help work with scar tissue. We do a lot of manual therapy, but we also really progress to doing a lot of different exercises and a lot of different habit-changing things to help make sure that we're really encompassing everything as a whole and not just focusing on one body part. So one of our more popular services is dry needling. So we essentially use needles like acupuncture needles, and we're going to target very specific muscles. So for instance, a very popular one is your upper traps. Anyone can tell you that whenever they have a lot of tension, they get a lot of headaches, just living life, you get a lot of tension through here. So what we do is we use these small needles, they're very tiny, and we're just directly inserting them into the muscle to help relieve that tension and help get out all of those knots. So we can use those literally head to toe with any part of the body that's holding a lot of tension. We also do cupping, which is a kind of like a massage technique where we can really focus on any type of scar tissue So that's a very important, any type of post-op surgery, C-sections, even scars that are 15, 20 years old, we can use the cupping to really help reduce all of that tension around that scar. There's no downtime with any of the cupping or the dry needling. I would say with dry needling, we don't like to do it every single day, obviously, because we want to let the tissue, like the inflammatory process, come back down and be able to heal and reduce like that. But you could literally go get cupped, get dry needled, and go work out that afternoon. Like, there's no limitations with that. With Genesis PT and Wellness, what we do is providing pelvic floor therapy services. So most people, when they hear pelvic floor, they only think pregnancy and postpartum. And while that is a very large percentage of our population, we really hone in on taking care of moms all through the transition of during their pregnancy, immediately afterward, and then the years following, to make sure that they are able to recover and do all the things they want. However, it doesn't just stop there. We work with women who've never had children. We work with women who are transitioning through menopause. We also work with men here at Midlothian. So if your husband spends 30 minutes on the toilet going to the bathroom, he probably has a pelvic floor issue and needs to come see us, because spending that long on the toilet, it shouldn't be like that. So we treat a lot of things outside of just pregnancy and postpartum. I work with people who have severe constipation, work with people who have any type of pelvic pain, urinary continence, whether that's urinary leakage or just pulling up to the driveway, and as soon as you hit that clicker, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to find a bathroom right now. We also work with people that have had any type of abdominal surgeries, because they'll find that it's really hard afterward to engage those abdominal muscles, which can result in a lot of different issues, including back pain, hip pain, and just decreased function in their day-to-day things, especially if their goal is to return to working out or taking care of their kids, or as they're aging, just being able to do the things around the house that they want and need to be able to do. So with pelvic floor therapy, we do a lot of manual therapy. So for some people, that is a lot of external work, where we're working on the muscles, improving mobility, addressing strength deficits, that kind of thing. We are also trained in doing internal examinations. So with men and women, we can do internal examinations to assess their pelvic floor. We're seeing if they're able to engage their pelvic floor. Are they able to relax their pelvic floor? And really the coordination of it, because your pelvic floor should act like a trampoline. It should be something that can give and take with all the different pressures and demands and loads that you go through day to day. And whenever it's not responding like that, then it can turn into like a slab of concrete, and that's not supporting your organs like it should. So although it can be a little, people can be a little cautious when we talk about internal exams, they are in no way as scary as they sound. And it's very in the control of the patient. So whatever they feel comfortable with is what we do. Our appointments are very, very lengthy. So our initial evaluations are an hour and a half. You're spending 90 minutes with that therapist, and the first at least 30, 45 minutes is just talking about what's going on with your body. So we really try and listen to our patients and get a good idea of head to toe what's going on. So we might ask you things that went on 20 years ago, but it's still pertinent to today. And then after that, all of our treatments are at least an hour. They're always one-on-one, so you get the undivided attention of the therapist, which is a very different model than what you see today in most physical therapy clinics. The Midlothian community is very important to us. All of the therapists here live directly in Ellis County. So personally, I live here in Midlothian. I've grown up here since I was 10. Dr. Becky, who owns Genesis, she moved to Waxahachie the last couple of years, as well as Dr. Jess Snow, who is currently on maternity leave. She lives in Waxahachie as well. So we're very emotionally, physically invested in this community, because it's where we're raising our kids. It's where our family is. It's where we go to church. We want to be able to treat and make it a huge impact in the people that we experience and live this day-to-day life with.
It was such a joy getting to know Morgan.
It was a joy getting to know Morgan. As always, it's been a privilege highlighting our local businesses and providing a space for our local business owners to tell their stories and showcase the services they offer. I'm a huge advocate for relationships cultivate business. Even deeper than that, it's been a humbling experience strengthening those relationships within the community by sharing in the same passion of building a dream from the ground up while serving others. We hope you'll visit Genesis PT and Wellness, and we hope you've enjoyed tuning in each week here on Midlo Connect.
Thank you for joining us this week.
I'm Audra Fowler with Rose Gold Realty Team.
I'm Alyssa Fowler with rose gold.
Smile.
I'm
No, you're going.
not doing this.
Okay, now. Okay, ready? I'm gonna have to start over.
Okay. I'm gonna wipe off my. Sometimes I get water in my eyes even when I'm not crying.
Okay, here we go. Ready?